Hello there and welcome to another video of my gardening series. We are currently about mid-September and it is very hot. It does not feel like fall at all. It's very much still summer. And I just came back from a 2 weeks vacation in Europe, which was lovely. But that also means that I haven't looked at my garden for the past 2 weeks. So I came back yesterday, last night actually, so I didn't get a chance to take a good look last night. So today in the sunlight I went to see the damages. It's kind of good things and bad things that have happened in the past 2 weeks. So I was lucky enough that my neighbor was able to take care of some of the plants. So I'm on a 3rd floor of an apartment building and she is on the 1st floor and has like a proper garden area. So I brought down some of the plants for her to water and look after. However, I have many plants, so I didn't bring everything to her, only the ones I was like the most, the one I cared the most about. And I was like, I feel like in the next 2 weeks something's gonna happen, like there's gonna be fruits to harvest, etc. So basically some of the plants have been looked after for the past 2 weeks and some have not. And it has been very hot here in Montreal for the past 2 weeks, so we have some damage that has happened. So let me show you today what the situation of the garden is. Alright, so if we start with an overlook of everything, this is what we have. Also, you may notice things have moved because some of the pots were brought down to the main floor for a few days, and then when I just brought it back earlier today, I didn't necessarily put it back everywhere it used to be. But so as you can see, we have things are alive and some other things are very dead. Like this is the end of those flowers, even if some of them are still kind of powering through, but this is extremely dry. It kind of cooked. And the worst of them all is actually the mint. This is mint, guys. I don't understand how this happened. Actually, I do understand how this happened. It literally like burned, so it was so hot, was not watered at all, and this is dead. There's nothing to do with this anymore. In comparison, we have the basil that was with my neighbor and has been watered for the past 2 weeks, so it's been very happy and it's still doing great. But mint is dead. This one is the Centauri Bleuet, also very much dead. Here we have the lavender, which, to be very honest, was dead even before I left. So in my last video I actually potted it. It was alive. I potted it directly from a plant, so I didn't do a seed. And I think I watered it too much and it was dead before I even left, and now it's just worse. There are other things growing. I don't know what these are, but yeah, this is, I'm not very proud of this one. We have the zinnias that actually are not doing too bad. So these haven't been watered in the past 2 weeks, and yet some flowers are still very pretty and blooming. Some are very much dead, so maybe I'll do a little cleanup, remove those, and then keep these. But 2 weeks without any water, and these are actually not too bad. In the box here, the green onions are actually doing very good. I'm gonna harvest them later today, so these actually enjoyed not being watered for a while, so these are really great. Here we have a radish that I will harvest as well to see what it looks like, and here we have another tree. So this is nothing, this is not my doing. So the tree has started growing, so we're gonna pull that as well later on. In this box, so in my last video I had planted some new radishes, and here they are today. They are quite big and I will see to harvest them as well. The leaves are very massive, but it looks like there is a pretty good amount of fruit as well. So we should have a few here that we'll be harvesting later. In this box, so again in my last video I tried to do some spinach seedling and nothing happened, guys. Absolutely nothing. Before I left for my vacation there was nothing, and nothing has grown. So I think this box was just not really good to me this year. I tried planting a few things and nothing's grown, so maybe the soil is not good or whatever. So this box, not really good. Here we have the Tomatillo plant, which has not been looked after for the past 2 weeks either. The Tomatillo plant is not a success this year, so you may think that I have tomatillos coming, but this is actually empty. There is absolutely nothing in here, and it's the case for all of these fruit looking ones. The plant, however, is massive. So I'm probably just gonna give it a trim because it's getting in the way, but no tomatillo for us this year, unfortunately. As for the tomatoes, it was also looked after for the past 2 weeks. My guess is that some fruits did become ready to harvest, and my neighbor harvested them as I had suggested to her, like if some tomatoes are ready to harvest, please help yourself. So we still have some that may come, so I'll give it a trim as well. I feel like it's too much branches and some of them don't look so great, so I'll give it a trim. But otherwise, this one has survived and we may have more tomatoes coming up. This one I'm very excited about. So before I left 2 weeks ago, this was green. So we had a green pepper that just needed some sunshine, and it looks like it is ready to be harvested. So super excited about this one. Here we have flowers. It looks like they have not been watered, even if I had brought them down to my neighbors to be watered, because yeah, this is completely dry. Nothing is happening here, so maybe she forgot or didn't water them enough. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but this is the end of those flowers. So these were cosmos and some zinnias as well. There's one that's like powering through, but let's be realistic, this is all of this is just dead. Here I have the jalapeno plant. So we have one jalapeno that looks ready to harvest. This one as well, I can't remember if, I'm guessing this was there when I left, but I think it was tiny, and I was like, you know what, I've already harvested many jalapenos this year, so I'll just won't bother with this one. But it survived, so I guess that makes sense, right? A hot pepper plant usually grows in hot climates, so the plant is still alive and we have one jalapeno to harvest. Same thing for the other pepper plants. This one, can't remember anymore what this one is, and it seems like I've lost my tag. I think these are the banana peppers. So when I left, they were all green, and I was hoping they would get some color while I was gone, and they did. So look at these, ready to harvest. These are gonna be super, super hot. Whoopsie. So looking forward to harvesting them, but just the red one, because these are not colored enough for me, so we'll leave this one in the plant. And here we have the other pepper plants. So these must be the Hungarian one, and same, when I left these were green, and I wanted to stay in the plant to get some color because that's when they get the hottest. So my neighbor did take care of them while I was away, and I think it all worked very well. So I have these beautiful peppers that are going to be ready for harvest, and I have some more extra in the back that are still gonna get some sunshine in the next few weeks. And finally here, even if the plant looks very dead, we have one massive cucumber ready for harvest. So I'll be harvesting this one as well later on, but when I left, this was tiny and I was hoping it would not die. That's why I brought it down for the neighbor to water, because I was like, there's still one cucumber left in this plant, and oh, look at this. So please, can't wait to harvest it and eat it. And finally, I have some more plants as well above here. So these are also some lettuce I planted in my last video. So I was trying to do like a late season seedlings. They grew. However, they don't look so strong. I'll see how it goes. This is extremely wet. I do not know why this one is so wet when everything else was pretty dry. Because lettuce, the last year I did some and I killed them all by watering them too much. So I'll see how they go for the next few days, but I don't have much hope they're gonna grow more than this. In this one I had done other spinach seedlings, but that didn't work. So these are tiny and they're alive though, so that's good in a way, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to harvest any spinach this fall. So this box, and then the radishes I showed you earlier, these here were all done from seedlings late in the summer. This was my first time doing this, and clearly not a success. Is it because I was gone for 2 weeks? Maybe. So I don't know if I'm going to repeat the experience again, but yeah, unfortunately not much result. Alright, so we got a pretty good harvest, probably the most successful of the year, even if I haven't been here for 2 weeks. I'm quite surprised. So we have 2 green onions. These were very hard to pull, which was surprising because they're kind of small. Anyway, so we have 2 green onions. We have some hot pepper, so banana pepper and Hungarian hot wax. We have 1 sweet pepper, my only sweet pepper of the year, but it looks delicious. And we have 1 giant cucumber. I bought one at the market earlier today, and now I'm kind of regretting it because I should have checked this before. I have a beautiful cucumber that is ready to eat. For the radishes, I'm very disappointed. These are tiny, even if they have more leaves than anything else. And these are spiky, so I don't really want to eat them. I know you can do like a pesto sometimes with them, but they're spiky. Like, I feel like that's not really inviting. But these are very, very small. I understand radishes are not big in general, but like this is tiny. This is nothing. This is not a radish. Oops. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed because these are watermelon radishes, so it's like these beautiful 2-color ones, but I feel like you need a big radish to do that beautiful effect. So not a hit, unfortunately, for the radishes for this year, but still a great harvest after 2 weeks of not looking at my garden. Alright, so this is it for the garden update. I'm very happy with the harvest I did. I think I harvested a lot more than I was expecting to, especially after not tending to my garden for 2 weeks. So thank you to my neighbor for looking after my cucumber and pepper plants, because that was definitely a success. I am a bit disappointed that some other plants didn't survive. I'm not that surprised at the same time. A garden takes a lot of time, so the fact that some plants didn't have any attention for 2 weeks kind of makes sense that some didn't survive. Since I now harvested pretty much all of the fruit that I have, so I still have a few hot peppers that are gonna keep on getting some colors, but other than that, I've harvested pretty much everything I have for this year, and then some of my other plants are either not successful or are dead now. So it kind of smells like it's the end of the gardening season. It's a bit sad, but I guess we'll talk about that in another video. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a very beautiful day, and I will see you in the next video of this gardening series. Bye.